This is the day you take back control. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when the timing feels right or when the stars align. Today, right now. Because there comes a moment in everyone's life when the silence becomes too loud, the regrets stack too high, and the weight of unfulfilled potential begins to suffocate. That moment is the breaking point, but also the breakthrough. It's where comfort dies and commitment is born, and you don't need anyone's permission to wake up to your own power. There's no more room for pretending. Pretending that it's okay to keep hitting snooze not just on your alarm but on your goals, your growth, your greatness. Pretending that surviving is enough when deep down you were built for more, for thriving, for rising, for leading. Somewhere along the way you may have handed over control to distractions, to fear, to opinions, to failure. But just because you gave it away doesn't mean you can't take it back. Everything you're seeking is already inside you. Discipline, focus, drive, it's there. But it's been buried under doubt, delay, and the damaging belief that you have to wait for the perfect moment to start. You don't. That mindset is a lie. The perfect time doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is this moment, and what you decide to do with it. If you want your life to change, you have to make that decision now, not halfway. Not when it feels easy, fully, even when it's terrifying. Especially when it's terrifying. You were not born to be average. You weren't put on this earth to repeat the same cycles, to coast through life numb, to wonder what if, when your back hits the pillow each night. You are here to make a dent, to push boundaries, to evolve. But that doesn't happen through inspiration alone. It happens through action. Daily, difficult, uncomfortable action. The kind of action that doesn't need applause. The kind that happens in silence and solitude when no one's watching. The world doesn't owe you understanding. People won't always support you. They won't always see the vision you've been given, and that's okay. It wasn't given to them, it was given to you. So stop waiting for validation. Stop waiting for someone to hand you the keys to your future. You are the key. You're not helpless. You're not stuck. You're not broken beyond repair. You're just being called to wake up, to rise from the slumber of indecision and reclaim the fire that's always been in you. It's time to stop negotiating with excuses. Excuses are clever. They sound like logic. They sound like protection, but they're poison. Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to stay safe, to stay hidden, to stay small. But comfort is not the goal. Growth is. And growth demands discomfort. Growth demands ownership. You have to own your time, your habits, your focus. You have to confront the parts of yourself that sabotage your potential. Because the truth is, no enemy on the outside can ever defeat you if you're not defeated within. Your life will reflect your level of discipline. Not your intentions, not your dreams. Discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, long after the mood has left you. It's showing up for yourself every day, especially when you don't feel like it. It's saying no to what feels good in the moment so you can say yes to what matters in the long run. That's how you build a legacy. That's how you earn confidence. Confidence doesn't come from compliments. It comes from keeping the promises you make to yourself. And that starts now. Every morning you wake up is another chance, not to repeat yesterday, but to rewrite your story. That's what today is. A blank page, a fresh start. Not defined by your past, but shaped by your decisions. Don't let yesterday's failures be today's excuses. Don't let fear of judgment paralyze your progress. Fear will always be there, but you get to decide whether it drives or follows. Choose to move forward, even with the fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's movement in the presence of it. Too many people are living asleep. Asleep to their potential. Asleep to their calling. Asleep to their responsibility. It's easy to stay asleep because dreams feel real in the moment. But dreams don't become reality by sleeping through life. You've got to wake up. You've got to be present, alert, aware, fully engaged with your purpose. Stop going through the motions. Start taking intentional steps. Every second you hesitate is a second you delay the life that's waiting for you. A life of impact, a life of meaning, a life of ownership. No more autopilot, no more coasting, no more settling. You know what's calling you. That voice that's been whispering for years. It's time to listen. Not just hear it, but respond. Don't let your vision die in the graveyard of good intentions. Act. build, execute. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Take one small step and then another. Stack enough small steps and you'll look up and see momentum. And momentum is powerful. It doesn't just change direction. It changes identity. You are not who you were a year ago, a month ago, even yesterday. Every decision shapes who you are becoming. And the best version of you is not found in fantasy. It's forged in the fire of intentional living. You're becoming that person with every rep, every discipline, every choice to show up. That version of you doesn't need to be discovered. It needs to be created. And today is the workshop. Today is the arena. Today is the proving ground. No matter how long you've been lost, you can start finding yourself right now by choosing to wake up and take control. Discipline is the foundational element that underpins every meaningful transformation. It is the quiet force that compels a person to keep moving when motivation has long since faded. While desire may spark the initial flame, it is discipline that keeps the fire burning. In a world constantly promoting indulgence, shortcuts, and instant gratification, true progress is reserved for those who choose the longer, harder, more consistent path. When someone commits to discipline over desire, they make a decision that their future matters more than their feelings in the moment. This mindset shift is subtle yet powerful. It says, even if I don't feel like it, I will still show up. I will still work. I will still build. That level of consistency compounds over time and ultimately creates results that far surpass what momentary bursts of motivation could ever achieve. To understand the power of discipline, one must first reject the belief that feelings are the highest authority. Feelings are inconsistent, often deceptive, and influenced by countless external variables. Weather, mood, people, environment, even diet. These all shift emotions throughout the day. If someone only acts when they feel inspired or ready, they will accomplish very little. The people who build extraordinary lives do not wait for the perfect moment. They learn to command their day, regardless of how they feel. Discipline begins with structure. It's the alarm clock set an hour earlier so that the day can be started intentionally. It's choosing to go to bed earlier, not because of exhaustion, but because rest is necessary to perform well the next day. It's the calendar that is no longer just filled with obligations, but with priorities, intentional time blocked out for vision building, skill development, and personal alignment. These daily disciplines may appear minor, even insignificant, but they stack up. Over time, the person who wakes up an hour early each day gains an extra 15 days per year. Those extra hours can be used to read, train, write, or work on a business. That time stewarded well becomes a competitive advantage. In contrast, those who are led by desire often find themselves caught in cycles. They are productive for a week, then lose momentum when they feel tired. They start a project with passion, but as soon as resistance comes, they retreat. Their actions are reactive, not intentional. Instead of creating a life, they respond to life. Discipline breaks this cycle. It says, regardless of the resistance, I will keep going. It produces grit. It builds endurance. It teaches a person how to press through discomfort and thrive beyond their limitations. Discipline also breeds confidence. Every time someone keeps a promise to themselves, they reinforce the belief that they are trustworthy, that they have what it takes, that they can handle difficult things. This internal trust is far more valuable than external validation. A disciplined person doesn't need to be told they're on the right path. They know because they are living it. They are watching themselves grow, evolve, and produce. They don't rely on applause because their daily actions already affirm their worth. But discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. There will be days when someone stumbles, when the alarm is missed, or the plan gets derailed. Discipline doesn't demand that every day be flawless. It demands that the commitment remains intact, that the person recalibrates quickly and refuses to let one off day become a pattern. It's about bouncing back faster, recovering stronger, and sharpening the focus with every setback. It also requires clarity. Without a clear vision of where one is going, discipline becomes dry and mechanical. But when discipline is tied to purpose, it becomes powerful. It's no longer just about getting up early or working hard. It's about building something meaningful. That vision becomes the fuel. The clearer the picture of the future, the more urgent and focused the actions become. In the present, the disciplined person doesn't just work, they work with intention. They aren't just busy, they are building. In environments where chaos and distractions are normalized, the disciplined individual stands out. Their life is marked by intentionality, not impulse. While others drift, they direct. While others talk, they execute. Their results speak louder than their words. People start to wonder what their secret is, but it's not a secret at all. It's the daily, repetitive, often unseen decisions to prioritize growth over comfort. The truth is, discipline liberates. It's often viewed as restrictive or burdensome, but in reality it creates freedom. Freedom from regret. Freedom from mediocrity. Freedom from the stress of always playing catch-up. A disciplined person knows their work is done, their goals are being pursued, and their progress is real. They sleep better, think clearer, and perform higher, not because life is easier for them, but because they've chosen not to let life lead them. Discipline is also contagious. When one person commits fully to a disciplined life, their environment begins to shift. Others start to take notice. Standards are raised. Excellence becomes the new norm. The people closest to them begin to evaluate their own habits, their own mindset, their own level of commitment. In this way, discipline doesn't just change individuals, it influences communities. Ultimately, choosing discipline over desire is a declaration. It is saying, I will not be ruled by my emotions. I will not surrender to inconsistency. I will not postpone my purpose for temporary pleasure. It is a stand against the chaos of the world and a stand for personal excellence. And in making that choice, a person unlocks the door to a life most only dream about but never build. Discipline is the foundation upon which transformation is built. In a world that often glorifies hustle, grind, and fleeting motivation, it is easy to get caught up in emotional highs and temporary bursts of energy. But feelings are fickle. They come and go. Discipline, on the other hand, is steady. It is the unwavering commitment to do what needs to be done, regardless of mood, circumstances, or convenience. Many people chase success but fail to recognize that it doesn't come from what they do occasionally. It comes from what they do consistently. Motivation may get you started, but only discipline will keep you going when the excitement wears off. When you wake up tired, when the weather isn't right, when nobody is watching, discipline is the force that drives you forward. It becomes the difference between wishful thinking and purposeful living. One of the greatest deceptions is believing that you can change your life without changing your habits. Habits shape your life more than intentions ever will, and habits are born out of discipline. When you learn to control your time, your focus, and your behavior, you stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You're no longer at the mercy of distractions or waiting for the right time. You create the right time by showing up consistently. There is power in having a routine. When you set a rhythm for your day, you begin to take control over how your energy is used. You eliminate decision fatigue by automating the small things, which gives you the bandwidth to focus on what truly matters. A structured day might not seem glamorous, but it is effective. And effectiveness is what builds success brick by brick. Success is not about dramatic moments of greatness. It's about 1,000 small choices made correctly. Sleep, for example, is often overlooked. Yet it is one of the most disciplined acts you can master. Going to bed at the right time, waking up early, and protecting your rest is not laziness, it's strategy. When you sleep with purpose, you rise with power, your mind is sharper, your energy is higher, and your decision-making improves. Rest isn't a reward, it's a requirement. It fuels your discipline and prepares you to dominate the day ahead. When you live a life of discipline, people may not understand you. They might call you obsessed, rigid, or even boring, but they don't see the internal war you've won by saying no to distractions and yes to your future. They don't see the late nights and early mornings, the sacrifice, the structure, and the systems you've put in place to build a better version of yourself. Discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. The truth is, the most successful people in any field aren't necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They're often the most disciplined. They've learned to silence the excuses, drown out the noise, and focus on the work. While others are waiting for the right mood to strike, they are already in motion. They've trained their minds to prioritize commitment over comfort. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. Those are the days that count the most. Discipline shines when motivation is nowhere to be found. It's in those moments when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, when nobody would blame you for giving up, that you have the opportunity to push through and prove to yourself who you really are. Every time you follow through despite resistance, you build inner strength. You become the kind of person who follows through, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. Time is one of your most valuable assets, and how you spend it is a reflection of what you truly value. When you're disciplined, your schedule reflects your priorities. You stop giving energy to things that drain you and start allocating more time to things that build you. You stop saying yes to everything and start saying no to anything that doesn't align with your vision. You stop scrolling aimlessly and start moving intentionally. Planning your day, sticking to a schedule, preparing your meals, managing your money. These are all acts of discipline. And though they may seem mundane, they are the building blocks of greatness. Success doesn't show up all at once. It accumulates slowly through a lifestyle of diligence and intentionality. There's something powerful that happens when you know you can trust yourself. Discipline creates self-trust. When you say you're going to do something and then actually do it, you reinforce your integrity. You stop doubting yourself. You stop negotiating with yourself. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. You become someone others can count on, not because of what you say, but because of what you consistently do. Discipline isn't just about what you add to your life. It's also about what you remove. It's about cutting out distractions, limiting toxic relationships, reducing time-wasting habits, and walking away from environments that hinder your growth. It's about creating space for the things that matter and letting go of what doesn't. Discipline is about clarity. It helps you discern what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Every day is a choice, and every choice is a vote for the type of person you're becoming. You don't just stumble into greatness, you build it. And the tool you use is discipline, not once a week, not when you feel like it, but daily, consistently, quietly, repeatedly. There are people out there who are not more talented, not more intelligent, and not more connected than you, but they're outworking you. They're out-disciplining you. They're doing the boring things with excellence. They're showing up when it's hard. They're planning their days, executing their vision, and mastering their minutes. And they're moving forward, slowly but surely, because they've chosen discipline over desire. Desire may light the spark, but only discipline keeps the fire burning. When you train your body and mind to follow through, regardless of feeling, you move from being a dreamer to being a doer. You wake up each day with a sense of purpose, not because life is easy, but because you've learned how to command your day instead of letting it control you.